Hey, this is BR Brander. I'm back. Let's talk about luck versus effort. Obviously, without luck, most of the stuff that you do might not work. Work alone, will not provide you with success. But the interesting thing is, the more effort you put in, the more work you do, the more things you try, the more stuff you throw at the wall in terms of projects, in terms of ventures that you try, the more luck will come your way because it's just normal probability. The more, let's say, I'll give you an example in trading the stock market. The more trades you do, the more likely is that you will win more trades than you lose, and then you will get the profit. If you only do a couple of trades and they might be all losing trades, then you lose. But if you go on and do a lot more trades, let's say, usually in about 90 days you probably do about 100 trades, probably one per day or something like that. And at the end of those 100 trades, if your strategy is correct, which means your downside has to be lower than your upside, and that's how you make profit. In a losing trade, you obviously lose the downside. On the winning trade, you obviously win on the upside twice as much or more than the downside was. And that's how you make, after you make a lot of trades, you make profit. And it's the same in life or in business. The more stuff you try, the more projects, the more ventures you try, with the knowledge that you have to test them, and if they don't sell, just drop them and go into another thing. But how long should you wait before you know if it sells or not? Well, you do the pre-selling thing. You pre-sell, and then you market it for maybe 6 months to a year, and then you see how many you sold. I mean, it should be obvious. It should be quite obvious if there's demand after a few months or 6 months. It should be quite obvious. And the more things you try, the luckier you get. The more things you try, the luckier you get, because it's just normal averages. If you only try one thing, you might fail at it, and that's it, done. You're a failure, in quotes. But if you tried a lot of things, maybe half of them might not work, maybe half of them will work, or maybe 90% of them might not work, and only 10% of them work. And if those 10% work properly, then that's it. You just continue doing the ones that work and ramp them up. You throw people, you throw money at it. Once you make money, you can employ people, and then you just throw people at it and they will do it for you, and all you have to do is give them targets. All you have to do and they have to be responsible for those targets. My usual strategy is, when it comes to employees, well, I'll be blunt, is to give them 2 strikes, maximum 3. If it's a very important position like sales on commission, because very few people want to be on commission only for sales. And that means that those people are either desperate or brave and very confident in their abilities. So you don't know which one it is, obviously, but you will learn after a few weeks or a month. If you get somebody who's very confident in their sales ability and they want to work for commission, and they are on the cusp of reaching your targets, but not right there, even when you hire them, you say to them, well, in this company, we have 3 strikes and you're out for sales position. For other positions, I would only have 2 strikes because, they're not as critical. But sales is the most important thing. So 3 strikes, you're out. If you don't reach the targets that you're set, let's say 3 months in a row, that's it. You're out. Obviously, you don't say to them like this. Do it in a nice, diplomatic way. You have to avoid any lawsuits and stuff like that. So that's it. 3 strikes and you're out. That's how you're gonna get, employees that perform. The thing is, as I said, if you throw a lot of stuff at the wall, the luck will come to you eventually, because it's just a numbers game. The more plays you make, the more chances you have that some plays will be very successful. So if you just try a few things and they might all fail because normally they do, because you're inexperienced. Let's say you're inexperienced in business and you try 2, 3 things and they fall, they don't make it, right? Well, try more things, because if you try 10 things, one of them will surely work. But don't be stupid about it. Don't just go willy-nilly trying things. You have to make the market research. You have to know if this is something that people might buy, that people might spend money for, and then you test it. You do a pre-sale, you just hype it up a bit in your social media, in the forums, with influencers. You pay them, to post about it. If they don't want to do it for free, just based on the relationship you might have established. And that's it. You see, you do SEO, and then you see how many people, you do ads, and then you see how many people, actually buy. And I mean buy, not just come to the site, not sign up for your email newsletter, not sign up for your messages. I mean buy. It doesn't matter how you sell them afterwards, Normally you would send them email messages, so you have to have an email list for that. My experience is that an email list is probably, apart from direct telephone calls, the email list is the most effective way to get sales. It's the most effective way to get sales apart from direct calling people, Everything else, social media, ads, okay, that's fine, but it's very expensive. And it converts, but less and less so, because each new advertising medium gets more and more expensive as the years gone by. Google used to be, quite cheap at the start with the AdWords, and now it's just insanely, probably prohibitively expensive for any small businesses, Just maybe large and established businesses can do that just to stave away the competition, just spend on ads and just go crazy, because they can afford it. The small business, not so much. Facebook is okay. It used to be better, obviously, because it was cheaper, but still, you would have to have a very good margin to make it work. You can make it work with having the pixels, which means you don't pay in advance just for clicks. You pay when somebody buys. I've tried that years ago. I don't know if they still have this program. They might have just scrapped it because, it's more profitable to charge for clicks and, views and stuff like that. So that's it. Throw a lot of stuff at the wall, see what sticks, and ramp it up. The more stuff you try, not willy-nilly, just do it smartly, test everything, every project that you start, and some of them will be successful, and just ramp them up after that. And then once they are ramped up, you can start thinking about trying new ones, you know. But unless you're successful with a few ones, don't stop trying adding new stuff. The more stuff you throw at the wall, the more luck will come your way, because it's just a matter of numbers, matter of averages. So, you know, luck follows effort, but at the same time, without luck, you will not succeed. You know, you have to have an element of luck in everything, really. My experience is, let's say 70% of it is pure effort and throwing stuff at the wall and not quitting and just do it, you know, just keep trying. And 30% of it is luck. It's very tough to just do one thing and make it a success, especially when you're green and young and don't know what you're doing, really. And it's very tough. If you did do it, that luck had to have quite a bit of impact in that thing, making it successful, you know. Luck had to be a good percentage of your success. But over the long term, trying a lot of stuff, luck diminishes, and the actual effort drives luck, drives that luck will come your way eventually. Okay? So I think I've beaten this to death again. I mean, there's a reason I repeat myself so much all the time. Because I want you to get it. I want you to internalize this. I just don't want to say it once and then you remember it for maybe 5 or 10 minutes and then it goes away. Okay? You can re-listen to these videos that I'm making. That's it for today. Thank you very much for listening and see you next time. Cheers.